Okay. Interesting one. Nikolas is the Parkland shooter from Florida, which we all are aware of because his police interrogation blew up a year or so ago. And that's why JCS became extremely popular. This is his apparently psych eval. So if you don't know who Nikolas is or who the Parkland shooter is off the top of your head, video What Pretending to Be Crazy Looks Like was a very popular video and still is. So you've probably seen it, if not seen clips. That is this guy. This is him getting apparently questioned by a psychiatrist. This one is 44 minutes. I'm actually extremely curious about this one, so I'm actually down to give it a watch. In case that's not apparent, this is the guy who shot up his school in Florida. So obviously a fairly sensitive topic, so please be careful. All right, let's do it, man.
I went back or something.
Explain to me how you showed him mercy.
I was like thinking about shooting him, but I didn't want to do it. So I was gonna walk down the hallway.
And did you end up shooting him?
Yeah, because they gave me a nasty look and they were about to run.
This video shows the Parkland shooter, Nikolas Cruz, being questioned by a psychiatrist. On February 14th, 2018, 19-year-old Nikolas Cruz opened fire on students and staff at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, killing 17 people. Cruz was a former student who meticulously planned the attack beforehand. Once he entered the building and began firing, he either pulled a fire alarm or it went off from the smoke from his gun. This caused confusion because there had already been a fire drill that day. Students were unable to seek shelter at hard corners, areas of a classroom that people could safely hide at if a gunman peered through the window or a door, because many of the classrooms in Building 12 lacked one, and furniture otherwise obstructed potential safe places. As the shooting unfolded, a code red was still not called due to confusion among school employees over who had the authority to do so.
Wow.
About 2:21 p.m.,
I didn't know
a
that.
staff member eventually activated a lockdown after discovering the
Oh my
body
God,
of
I
one of
opened
the
up a
students
RuneScape client.
and hearing continued gunfire.
Sorry.
Afterward, Cruz managed to blend in with the fleeing students and escaped on foot, eluding the police for an hour before he was caught.
Describe to
This
me
fucking mouse, bro.
Like, if someone knew nothing
I need
about
to get a new
guns,
mouse.
how would you explain to them what an AR-15 is?
An AR-15 is a long rifle, and it's used as a sporting rifle. It shoots in semi-automatic fire, and then there's fully automatic fire. Fully automatic fire is only meant for the military. No legal person is allowed to get it unless they have a firearms license or something like that in the state of Florida.
All right, and so, again, what's the difference between, for a complete novice, between a semi-automatic and a full automatic?
Fully automatic is continuous fire.
Okay.
And semi-automatic is single fire. So every time you pull the trigger, you only pull once.
Okay, so does that mean you have to pull for each time you fire it, or does it do it on its own?
So like that.
Okay.
While in fully automatic, you just hold on as long as possible until the rounds are completely empty.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll fill it. So before you do that, I'm just going to check your reading, okay, a little bit. Do you like reading, Nick? Okay. And so I'm going to ask you to read out a few things out loud. You can give me the pen back for now. And I just want to make sure you can read all these questions, okay, all right? Okay. So I'm just checking out your reading. So let's see. I don't know if you like African animals or anything like that, but this is a book.
I like it.
This is a book on.
I like it.
Let's see if I can find one that might be interesting to you.
Anything really.
Do you like reading, or do you like animals, or what's?
I like animals.
Okay, let's do this one. I just want to have you read out a little bit for me. Here we go.
Yeah.
You might need your glasses because.
You need me to take off my mask or anything?
No.
Okay.
So just start kind of here and read the first couple paragraphs for me.
You got it. Indeed, when it comes to the question of which land animal is fastest, a cheetah wins paws down. It relies on its record-setting speed to chase down prey. Unlike other cats, the cheetah usually hunts during the day. Cat does its best to get within 150 feet of its potential prey, which is less than half the length of an American football field, and then quickly revs up to a sprint. If the cheetah succeeds in bringing down its target, it clamps its jaws down on the animal's throat, cutting it off its air supply. Before digging in, the
Nerd
target usually moves its meal
Ass
to an
geek
area by a
bitch
tree.
liking animals raffle.
Okay, you're doing fine. Yeah.
Damn,
I just wanted to
Connor.
make sure that if I gave you this questionnaire, you could read all the
Damn.
questions, but I'm confident you can.
Oh my god.
So
I think 10th, partially 10th.
you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
What
went
the
there, and
what is
how
happening
many-
here?
How many people were in your class?
He put his
Cruz is animated
put his
as he
arms-
answers questions about guns, clearly a subject he is passionate about. Dr. Charles Scott tests Cruz's reading comprehension to make sure he will be able to understand and answer the questions he will be asked. Before we continue with the case, I wanted to let you know that right now is the best time to get
Right
anything from my merch shop
now.
in preparation for the holidays. Whether it's a gift for a loved one, a friend, or just for yourself.
Wait. Ooh, kind of a cool
Whether it's a
coffee
gift
mug.
for a loved one, a friend, or does you deserve it, StrangerLabel.com has everything that you're looking for.
That mug was
Hoodies,
kind of good.
T-shirts, beanies, socks, and even mugs. Plus, almost every item in the shop was designed by me. So head on to StrangerLabel.com and use the code STRANGEHOLIDAYS to get 15% off your entire order.
fuck.
And don't forget, you can leave me a short message once you check out. I'll be reading your messages at the holiday dinner table. So expectations are high. And with that said, let's get back into the case.
30 people at a time.
Wow.
30 per class.
I'm about to
and
buy
if you
so
In
take-
much.
JROTC in the morning, so we have different names for morning sessions in JROTC.
Uh-huh.
The morning session I was in first year was really short. There was not that many kids, so we had a chance to speak, get to know one another, build up our confidence with each other.
Okay, so was your
Fill up our
JROTC,
confidence?
Was that your first class of the day?
Yeah.
And that's when you went, and I just want to make sure I got the years right, because you left there roughly when you hadn't quite finished the 11th grade, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
And then
I was doing really well in that class.
in the JROTC?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Who was your teacher?
John DeMauro,
Okay, and I've never been in a
Sergeant John DeMauro.
in a JROTC class, so
Okay.
tell me what happens in a JROTC class.
JROTC is the short-term
Learn how to be a
definition of
bitch.
JROTC is Junior Officer Training Corps.
Okay,
That too.
It's supposed to make you ready to go in the military because that's what I wanted. I wanted to seek a military career in the K-9 unit. If not K-9 unit, then Army Ranger School. So I was trying to learn everything I can about the military.
uh-huh.
So the first step was to go into JROTC, take a class, learn marksmanship, because I wanted to experience that just to get an idea of what it's like. And I learned a lot.
Okay, tell me what you learned about marksmanship.
I learned a lot. Yeah, I learned so
how to
much.
shoot a gun. I learned how to zero in a rifle.
Yeah, great work,
What does zero in a
JROTC.
rifle mean? I don't
Trained to
know.
kill her.
It
Good stuff.
means to shoot dead center or shoot on impact.
Okay.
Where you want to shoot your target, like, see that bottle?
Yeah,
If you wanted to shoot the top of that, you're supposed to zero it in, so you keep shooting it until you're able to get the cap off or something like
Okay.
that. And that's
What-
when you're ready.
okay. What type of training gun or whatever did they use?
We didn't do anything that you see on TV.
No?
No. What we did was we sat on a platform,
Wow.
like a little like green thing, and then we set up our rifles. We put on these like little things around our arms.
Connor,
And
are
that's
you
some sort
okay?
of, air pellet gun, which I think function on CO2 gas. So we had cylinders in it. So we pull back the thing, and then you're supposed to put it in the thing, and you're supposed to let go. And then you look, and it's supposed to hit the target about 10 meters. So we set up these little targets 10 meters. And there's prone, kneeling, and then standing.
10 meters.
And
Three different positions you have to learn?
three positions, yeah. For that
And
particular.
how did they determine if you were a good or not?
You have to shoot a target at 10 meters inside.
You have to hit the target, bud. What do you think?
It actually decreased in size over the years. I don't know if it's.
Well, based
I've
on
heard
how
it's
good you
10
could kneel.
Okay. So overall, how did you do as a mark?
It's based
in
off
that
of
class or in
obedience
that
to the pawn,
JROTC?
being a pawn of the
Well, I was
state.
in the top. I was
At the
in
end
the
of the
top
day?
one. I was probably the third or fourth one from
Nope,
being top.
nope,
in the
nobody
class.
cares, man. Nobody cares.
Females are a lot better at shooting than men.
And that's because
They're just better at shooting.
The females are much better at shooting than the men.
I'm drinking on a plane and hate this motherfucker. You know what, Connor? Fair enough. Live your best life.
The females are much better at shooting than the men. Statistically speaking, from my experience, they
Shut up.
shooters.
Okay.
Even the Marines did their own study on that. It's true. Women are better shooter than men.
Okay, and so anything else you learned in that class?
I learned leadership skills. I learned
Give me some examples of some leadership skills.
whenever someone's in need, you're supposed to go up to them and make sure they're all right. If someone were to challenge you in a fight, you're supposed to walk away from it. If you're marching and someone falls down, you're supposed to help them up. And if someone's having issues with some sort of class, you're supposed to help them out.
Okay.
You're supposed to stick up for one another. That's what FAIRS is about.
Okay. So tell me about that. You mentioned that earlier this morning.
So in order to go in the military and get a good job in the military,
Oh, you didn't even
have
let
to
him
score
finish
high on
speaking.
The ASVAB first. The ASVAB is a crazy test.
Tell me about some of the questions and what it was like. Best you remember.
Here, I can write down something.
Okay. Let me take out this piece of paper. I've never taken it, so I don't.
It's crazy tough.
Okay, give me some examples.
it's crazy tough.
I didn't even do too well, so. See?
Yeah, because you're a fucking idiot. What is he writing down? I don't understand.
Try and come up with a question I could.
It's not hard. You get the T-Rex from Meet the Robinsons writing right now.
The most disturbing thing so far is the fact that Cruz sounds like any other teenager, talking about his plans for the future. There is nothing in his body language or voice that would tell anyone he had committed such a horrific act.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part, for sure.
Golly gee, what a normal day for a piece of shit like me. I can't wait for the military to accept me.
What we just sitting here? Or?
Something like that, like tough, really tough questions.
Let me see what you wrote here.
Spell rifle.
Those are just like small examples. It gets really, really complicated and tough.
So what is a H2O molecule? What's this right
All
here?
right, let me see. What is H2? What is a H2O molecule of water?
Of water. And what would your answer be to something like that?
Hydrogen and what was the other one? Helium, I believe.
Okay, and then what does this say?
Hydrogen and helium.
Who was Josephine during the French Revolution?
Guys, I'm starting to think this guy might be a fucking idiot. Like I might be the first one to realize this.
And what's the answer to that?
What?
It was Napoleon's ex-wife.
And then this
Napoleon's
last one?
ex-wife.
Square root of 256.
And what's an answer to that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I made it up.
So would these be
I
questions?
made it up. I don't
Are
know.
these exact questions from that test or just similar to
Just
what?
those are simple questions. I can't put in, like,
Okay.
give you one. It gets really
What,
complicated.
So did you ever
what the
take
fuck
any
just
kind of
happened?
Psychology or Psych 101?
Oh yeah, I did take psychology. I actually scored pretty well, and I
Okay.
passed the test too.
Okay. And that was at the Dave Thomas campus?
OCLC.
OCLC.
Yep.
And so
It's the only class
OCLC.
that I actually passed any.
Okay. What kind of things did they teach in the
Not
psychology
a flex,
class?
buddy.
Well, they didn't teach anything. It was just basically we were just doing things on computer.
Yeah. What kind of topics on the computer were there?
People with mental health, past tests, such as the one where they practiced this test on prisoners and guards.
Damn, bro.
So
Can't wait
basically
for you to be a
what
part of the
happened was,
study.
there was this test back in, I think, the 80s or 60s, and they had like a bunch of
Oh, he's talking about the Stanford
inmates
prison
become
experiment.
security guards, and security guards becoming inmates.
That's not true.
And it didn't turn out well, actually.
It's not
security
true.
guards turned against inmates and treated them
A
horribly.
bunch of
Which
students
came
from
up with
college.
a theory that if you put someone in a situation and under certain circumstances, they'll abuse that power.
Yeah, it's a famous study, actually.
Yeah.
And any time where
That was
someone might have
so
thought you were
backhanded.
like a swastika on
Yeah,
a
it's
boot or
actually
something
a
like
really
that.
well-known study.
My
So
friends told me to do that, and they did it as well. And I
Okay.
did that for attention. And anything that I swastika or said nasty remarks about race or gender equality or anything like that. It was all for attention.
Okay.
Right.
And that magazine, I'm sure you know about it. It was like, I had a magazine with a swastika on it for my AR.
Yeah.
I didn't write that at all.
Where'd that come from?
Jameson Todd asked me if he wanted to draw a swastika on it. And so I said, sure.
Okay, so he
I didn't
drew,
think any of it.
so he drew the swastika on the magazine?
Yeah. We were just chilling out. He said, it's cool if I draw a swastika on your mag. I said, sure.
Okay. And was that magazine used on the day of the offense?
Wow, bro, he's so innocent.
Was it left there like at the scene?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think anything of
And I
it.
hadn't, and then someone told
It's
me I
only
had
a symbol of
swastika on my
hatred
mag.
amongst many people. I mean, what? I didn't think it was a big
That
deal.
was for attention.
Being the privileged ass bitch I
When
am.
you put the swastika on the boot?
Probably half a month before.
Okay. And what kind of attention can you get from having a swastika on you?
Negative or positive. It can be used in either way because the swastika was used in Native American as a peace symbol.
Uh-huh.
And then when the Germans saw, I guess they took it up themselves and they made it into a symbolic symbol, which was really stupid because it was a Native American peace symbol.
It wasn't.
But when you would put on your shoe for attention, which of those two was it most likely to kind of connect to or represent?
Mostly peace.
Okay.
Yeah, sure,
Any
man.
other counselings that you can
Holy
remember you
shit,
took
the
back
saturation in the
there?
room
Yeah,
just went
there
up. This
was,
is
like,
crazy.
A woman that wanted me to get into chess. And she also wanted me to try a bunch of pills, see if that would relieve any stress.
Right.
There was also
Catharsis. Physical
Did you
catharsis
play
does not
chess?
relieve stress.
no.
Yeah. Or can you play
It
chess?
wasn't my interest. I didn't even play it right. I've only learned that I was.
You don't
playing
even
for
know
all-
what
for all my
helium over
Okay.
hydrogen
Cruz
is,
is
so
desperate for attention and does not care whether it is positive or negative. He makes these statements almost dismissively, showing that he does not care about the possible impact of his actions. His tone of voice is the same as his subsequent answers about chess.
And can you play chess now?
Not very good at it.
Yeah. Tell me what you remember about some of the
Fucking
different
mouth
names of
breather.
the chess pieces. What are some of the
So
names?
we got the rook, we got the king, the queen, the knights. What was the other one? I forgot what.
bro.
Bishop
Okay.
and the pawns.
Okay. That sounds like.
God, don't hurt yourself, man.
And do they move in different ways?
Yeah, they move in different ways.
Okay.
The knight goes like.
I love these leading questions. I love how absolutely leading these questions are. Like, he's not even subtle about it. That's so funny. Like, why would you ask that question if you don't already know the answer?
like an L form.
Okay.
The king goes pretty much anywhere, but only one spot at a time. The queen can go anywhere on the chessboard. I think the bishop goes sideways, and then the rooks just go up or left and right.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Do they allow you to play chess in here at all?
Yeah.
And who do you get to play chess with?
My sight doctor.
Okay. And are you able to? How do you do?
Terrible.
Terrible.
I think he's cheating something.
How do you mean?
Huh? He always uses his queen.
He always uses his queen?
Yeah, he always uses his queen.
What does that mean? I don't play chess, so.
So the queen is probably the most powerful piece on the board, so he uses that a lot, and he always gets me with it.
So he
Then we play
uses.
Uno, and I usually crack up jokes with him. It's pretty fun.
Okay. And which doctor is this? What's his name?
Yay.
How do you spell last name? K, you said?
Yeah, what's
Yeah, I call him
his
Dr.
address so I
I
can
can't pronounce
smack him
his full
across the
name.
Is
face?
he a treatment doctor here?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you shared with me that you had this thought about shooting up a school.
For a very long time.
When did it first, and we talked about this earlier this morning, but when did the idea first pop in your mind or you first think about it?
14, 13.
Age 13 or 14?
Yeah.
Jesus
And what was it at age 13 or
Christ.
14 again that this thought came up? Was it when you
It
were
was just a
reading the
thought.
books that we were
Yeah, I
talking?
was reading the books. Reading
Okay.
stuff, yeah.
And did it ever go away, or did it kind of come and go? or-
Come and go, pop up in my mind one time and then just disappear for the next.
What seemed to make it come and what seemed to make it go?
When I saw violent videos on YouTube,
Okay, what kind of violent videos did you see?
war videos, I was hearing war videos.
And did that make it more go up or more go down?
More go up.
Okay.
And then I watched documentaries.
Okay, what kind of documentaries?
Columbine Massacre documentary.
Right.
I think it was 42 hours or something. There was another same thing, but with Virginia Tech.
With Virginia Tech?
Yeah, Virginia Tech. And there was one on Elliot Rogers.
Do you remember if you ever kind of searched out on the internet ways to do a school shooting? Yeah.
I did my own research.
Yeah, tell me what research you did.
I looked up on Wikipedia. I studied mass murderers and how they did it, like their plans and what they got and what they used.
Oh man.
And what did you learn from that kind of study?
And you're telling me this didn't flag any sort of government watch thing? Nobody thought this was like a weird kind of thing that was going on? We didn't decide to like step in on this one?
I learned that the Columbine shooters, they had 3 guns that they used. They used High Point 9995, regular. They used a double barrel shotgun cut down pistol grip. They used another shotgun, and they used a Tech 9. I learned that from there. I learned Virginia Tech shooter. He had a tactical vest, and he had 2 pistols, Glock 9s, I think. I can't remember. I don't remember what brand, but he went to the gun range and he sighted them in.
Okay.
And I learned about Aurora Borealis. Guy used a Smith & Wesson MP1542, and how I know he used it, it doesn't even say on Wikipedia, but it actually shows the brand on the police documents.
Okay, and so you could figured that out,
Yeah,
what he used?
Yeah.
And when you said Aurora Borealis?
Movie theater shooting in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
James Holmes. Yeah.
He said Aurora Borealis instead of just like Aurora. He meant like the Aurora shooting in Colorado, but he just said Aurora Borealis, like the wonder of the world. I don't understand how this man had an entire smorgasbord of red flags on his search history and we did nothing. We didn't think this was a concerning individual. This is amazing. I mean, it's one thing to have something this fucked up happen. It's another thing to like realize truly how much of an idiot this guy is. How is somebody this fucking dumb and still gets away with something like this? Like 17 people died to this guy's hands, and he doesn't even know what's in H2O, and he's Wikipediaing how to do a school shooting, and like nobody was like, hey, maybe we should go see what this guy's doing. It's kind of a weird thing to look up. Maybe we should look into that. Oh my God, my computer just freaked out. Sorry. Like what? I can't believe that. Just nobody thought this was a good idea.
Yeah. All right. And were there any lessons you learned? I mean, those are sort of the facts of what they did. Did you learn anything from reading those facts?
Yeah, they watched the corners. They kept the distance away from people, and they went in as fast as possible.
Okay.
And the police didn't do anything.
Shocker.
And what did all that mean to you as far as what you're thinking about
My
doing?
thinking is if I do go on school campus, the police are not going to do anything, and I have a small opportunity to shoot people for maybe 20 minutes.
So I'm talking about...
With all of the documentaries and news coverage available on mass shootings, Cruz had a wealth of information at his fingertips to help him in his planning. So many details were given that it actually enabled him to cause more devastation that would have been possible otherwise.
The days leading up to the school shooting, you were telling
Yeah,
me...
I already had the magazines. I had all the ammunition. It was just there.
So it was already there.
It was already there. I just didn't have anything to do with it.
So nothing special. You had to go out and buy it a couple days beforehand. Okay, you already had it.
Already had it. It's just the ammunition that I didn't have. So.
Okay, and so one thing is you had this vest and you put the ammo in. What else did you do?
I put the gun in one of the safety bags, gun bags.
Yeah, tell me what a safety bag looks like. I haven't seen
It kind
that.
of looks like that right there.
Okay.
See that red one? Yeah.
Yeah, when did you put the gun in the safety bag?
The night prior, right
Okay.
after I practiced a little bit, sighted in.
Yeah, and where'd you go to practice again? You told me. I just
In the backyard.
In the
pretend,
backyard.
Like trying to imagine the recoil.
His backyard?
That's right. That was at the Sneeg's house. They had a place outside you could do that.
Yeah.
This is reminding, I mean, not that it's like parents' fault at the end of the day, but at the same time, if you guys have ever looked into the Columbine shooting, I might have mentioned this before, but the Columbine shooters were like making pipe bombs in their backyard and testing them. And basically the parents of whichever kid's house they were at were kind of just like, boys being boys. And then the other parents got a call about all of the ammo they had bought for it being ready for pickup. And then they were like, oh, we didn't order ammo. Hung up. Yeah. Fun fact for people that don't know, Columbine was supposed to be worse because they planted pipe bombs throughout the school, except they were so fucking stupid that they didn't work. Multiple bombs were planted. Did not work. Thankfully. It amazes me how many things domino when a situation like this occurs. Obviously, this person is to blame, but like it doesn't even end up being like him alone is the reason this has been caused. It's our systems in place like failing time and time again on top of like everything else. It's amazing. It's awful. I mean, it's awful.
And you said you're figuring out the recoil?
Yeah.
Recoil.
Recoil.
Okay. And so the night before, the gun went into the bag? And did anything else go into that bag? It was like a gun bag? What else?
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah,
just the gun?
And
Surely
whatever was
if
on
more gun, less
what was on the gun?
shooting, right?
A grip. Tactical grip.
What's that?
I feel like that makes
like-
sense, guys, right? Totally.
I can draw it.
Okay, you're good at drawing. There you go.
Okay, and then give me the pen again.
Absolutely.
I'm going to show you all components.
Yeah. Just tell me about what a technical grip is.
So I had a rail system on it, so it looked kind of different. And you could put a tactical grip on it. It's just a grip. So you basically screw it into the gun
What's the point of having...
to keep it steady.
Okay,
And then same thing with the bipod. Bipod kind of looked like that a little bit.
all right. But you didn't use a bipod, did you?
That was already on the gun. I did.
It was already on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Let
so...
me think. And yeah, that's about it. That was on the gun. Oh, and what was it? The sling.
Okay, so what's the... You can hand me that back. Was the tactical grip already on the gun, or did you put it on the night before, or...
That was already on there
It'd
for a
been on-
while.
For a while. And the sling was on there
Yeah,
as well?
I just recently put on the bipod.
Okay, and so when you had this, the bipod was actually on the gun when you put it into the gun bag?
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's the night before. About what time of night are we talking about?
Well, early morning, really.
Yeah, it might have even...
Yeah, I didn't get any sleep.
Okay, so this is on February the 14th, early morning?
Yeah,
That's
8 or
gross.
9.
8 or 9 in the morning?
Not 8 or 9, no, it was 5:30? No, 5:30. And I sighted in at around 12 o'clock in the night.
Don't hurt yourself, bro.
The night before? Like on the 13th, or like midnight, you
Yeah,
mean?
midnight, yeah.
Tell me what sight it in means again.
Sighting in
Yeah, sighting in. What does that mean?
to get the bullet on target where you want to shoot at.
Okay.
I have to look at the rear front sight and then put the laser on top.
How long does it take to do that?
Can I try?
Sure. Just I'm trying to
Is it-
understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you understand.
Yeah, you're good. You're helping.
Okay. So there's like this. This is the front sight. This is what it looks like on the AR. So this is a rear sight, the circle thing, and this is a front sight.
Okay.
And you want to put the laser just a little bit right above it. That's your point of aim. And so this is what it kind of looks like when you're shooting a target. I like that.
Okay. How does that laser? How does the sight? How does that help you in your shooting?
So when it's in the gun, it's stabilized.
Okay.
So wherever the red dot goes is your point of aim, because that's where the bullet's going to come out
Okay.
of the gun, and that's how you sight it in.
All right. Does it help in any way with the shooting?
Yeah, so right after you take it out, you put a bullet in, and then you actually fire, see if it actually shoots on. Where you just sight in the target where the red dot is.
Uh-huh.
And there you go.
Okay. All right.
Wow. It's morbid that this guy can just answer intricate questions about weapons and gun attachments and gun functionalities, yet he can't even tell you what H2O is made of. Like, it's amazing that nobody, like, once again, I mean, I've already said it, but it's amazing that, like, nobody thought that any of this was an issue.
All right, so that was the sighting. How long did it take you to do the sighting the night before? You told me earlier yesterday.
I think it was about like 30 minutes to an hour.
About 30 minutes? 30 minutes to an hour? Okay. The night before, you're at the Sneegs. You're in their backyard for 30 minutes to an hour with the AR-15.
He's in someone
What
else's
were you wearing
backyard?
the night before? Do you remember what you were wearing the night before?
My JROTC polo shirt and khaki pants.
He was in someone else's
Why are you
yard.
wearing your JROTC polo shirt?
To disguise myself if I do go in.
Okay.
Cruz answers the questions almost eagerly, and it confirms his earlier claims that he is motivated by attention.
If I had all that gear on there, I would have called cops and held them in that.
And then you were in khakis?
Yeah.
And were you wearing the same thing the night before as you were wearing the day of? Or did y'all change clothes? Or?
No, I changed clothes.
Okay.
I was wearing, before the day of the shooting, I was wearing a sweater, my camouflage shirt, my beanie.
This is the night before?
Yeah, like I told you, I used to cover myself.
Yeah,
Like,
you did.
Yeah.
So when did you put on the JROTC polo shirt?
Probably around 12 o'clock midnight, after I sighted my rifle.
Okay. And again, you put on that shirt because?
To disguise myself, so I don't draw attention.
Okay. Is it?
Attention
I mean,
was
you
the
had good
motivation?
videos, so
Oh,
was that kind of
definitely.
the same shirt they have for the most
Oh,
part? you think?
100%.
Almost every kid in JRC had that shirt.
Okay. So where'd you sit in the car? The back seat?
Yeah,
front
back seat.
Okay. And
I told her that I had musical instruments. I was in the orchestra.
okay. And how come you did that?
So I can get away with getting my guns in the car and going to the school.
Yeah, he also carpooled
And what
that
did she say to
day.
that?
She said, okay.
Once you get
Terrifying,
to school,
right?
What's your next step?
Walk through the gates. Hopefully there's no security guards, which I was wrong.
So I haven't been to that school. So are there lots of gates, or how do you get it? How do you get to it?
There's 3 gates.
Okay. And so where do they drop you off?
The front gate of the
Okay.
school.
Front gate. And so is your backpack, like sometimes you can wear a backpack like slump on your shoulder or
Yeah, it was in
something?
front. I think I was wearing it in front.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
And then what were you doing with the gun safe bag?
I was walking.
Okay. And
I
you're
think south of Holmberg Road.
okay. You're walking with it, and you have the backpack kind of on one side. And then what happened?
I went through the gates.
He was an orchestra kid? No, he wasn't. He said he was an orchestra kid because he brought all of his guns to school that day, and when he was getting driven by a neighbor because he was carpooled that day, he was asked why he had all that stuff. So he claimed he was in orchestra, so he had an excuse to have all that shit. Wouldn't it be terrifying to realize you were the driver? I guess either way, he was probably going to get there and do something, so it's like, I guess you can't feel that bad about it, but still, I mean, I'm sure it's haunting.
I looked at the guy who was watching me.
Oh, there was a guy watching you.
Yeah.
Was
And-
it that? Was
yeah,
it that?
I saw him radioing, and I said, oh shit, I'm screwed. So I just ran into the building, and I told the kid to get out of here. I don't remember what I exactly said, but I said
Okay.
something.
Was the guy that you saw radioing and you said, "Oh shit, I'm screwed"? Was it remember we were talking about some other security guy? Was that same guy?
No,
No, a totally different one.
totally different.
And so, what did you think when you saw him talking on the radio? What do you think that was about?
I thought he was gonna. I think he called Scott Pearson.
Okay. And what would that mean if he did?
Scott Pearson was coming
Okay, and what would that mean for your plan that day?
to shoot.
So how did you get to McDonald's?
I walked.
Is it a long ways from the Walmart? About how long do you think?
So from the school to the Walmart is about 400,000 yards.
And then how far is it from?
And then you go left down the road,
Uh huh.
probably another 600 yards.
600 yards to the McDonald's. And did you get anything to eat at the McDonald's?
I thought about it.
And do you know if you got anything? Are you hungry? The slushy probably wasn't enough, huh?
The fuck?
And
what is this
happened at
conversation?
McDonald's?
I talked to this kid. Told me his sister was at Stone Douglas still.
Okay. And did you have any conversation about, like, did he ask you who are you, or did he ask you anything about it?
Yeah, I asked him if I could have a lift. I needed to.
They're talking about after the shooting, by the way. So people, in case you're not aware of what happened, he basically did all this stuff, and then he walked out of the school because none of the police officers stopped him. Went to a 7-Eleven and got a slushie, and then walked to the McDonald's where he got picked up. And yeah, he's talking about the kid he talked to in the McDonald's whose sister was at the school. Ha ha ha. Disgusting stuff.
Go to work or something like that, and he said he couldn't do it. He had a soccer game with his sister. And the sad story is his sister died in the building.
Okay, do you know his first name or
I was
anything?
just random kid.
Now, you've told me some different examples of things you've done to animals, different animals.
Yep.
When was the very first time you can remember ever doing
Yep.
something that people might look at and say that's not very kind to an animal? How young were you?
I broke a lizard's back with a rock.
And how old were you?
3.
Okay. And how come you did? What do you remember about doing that?
3?
Something me and my brother did. We went around.
You remembered
lizards.
something when you were
Okay.
3?
So he
Sometimes I
must have
skin them
been.
alive. Sometimes I set them on fire.
Okay, the lizards. When did you start skinning the lizards alive?
I just taped him to the little table, and I took a knife and I just scraped and
Okay. And
scraped
about
the skin off.
how old were you the first time you did that? Do you think?
4.
Okay. And then what about setting them on fire? How would you do that?
Take a lighter and burn instantly.
How would they react?
Burn instantly.
Will they burn instantly? Do they make any movement or sound or anything?
They start curling up and
Okay.
then just fall over.
So that's at 3, 4. Okay. Tell me what happened next. What?
Dr. Scott asks Cruz if there were any incidents during his childhood where he harmed animals. This type of abuse is often found in those with antisocial disorders and often escalates into violence against people.
What's the next kind of progression of that?
Bird eggs.
Bird eggs? What'd you do with bird eggs?
I took them out of the nest and I threw them against the wall
How come?
because I was bored. I wouldn't let me out of the house.
Okay. What did you think was going to happen to the egg if you did that?
Would crack.
Okay. And how old were you with that?
7.
Okay. And then what else? What happened next?
Let's see. Let's see. I set spiders on fire.
Okay. How old were you with that?
Those banana spiders, those big old ones.
Are those
Aw,
really big?
they don't even do anything.
Set them on fire with a flamethrower.
With a what?
With a spray can.
A spray can. What kind of books are you reading now?
I have a book of maps. I'm trying to figure out what's happening in Ukraine. They're attacking on 4 sides, the Russians.
Yeah. And so it sounds like you were able to get some news while you're in here.
Terrible news.
Yeah. And so you have a map, and you even sort of heard on the news about.
They're getting close to the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv.
Yeah. Tell me what you've learned on the news about what's happening with this.
Well, so far I heard that Putin ordered a missile strike near the capital.
Okay.
Killed 10 people.
Okay. Anything else you've learned?
I learned that the UN and all the other countries are afraid that if they cut Putin in the back corner, he might release nuclear weapons.
Okay. And from what you've learned about your history and you have this map book.
Actually, no.
very
long gone,
recent.
Actually. He did judo. He had trouble in school.
This is Putin we're talking about?
Yeah, he actually told the newscast that he couldn't go into the KGB. They had to find him. He couldn't find them. He had to go through this whole process in order to go there.
Yeah. How'd you learn all this?
They had a book on a book card about him.
Oh, okay. On the book card here?
Yeah, his father served in World War II. Before that, he had a grandfather who served in World War One. Or a godfather, I don't know, I can't remember. His mother lived in St. Petersburg, Russia. When the war came, his father almost got captured. He managed to escape and make it back to the borderline with Russia.
Jesus
Stalin
Christ.
ordered
Dude.
him to go back to the front line, so that's what he did.
Give him a fucking
He
kiss
got
while you're
injured,
at
And
it.
then he worked on the farm for the rest of his life until his mother gave birth to him. He has 2 daughters. He got married, I think, in 1969.
This is Putin we're talking about?
Yeah, he had a tough life.
Okay.
Yeah, his first wife he wanted to get married at a young age, but he didn't. He kind of regretted, but tries not to think about it. He didn't really talk about it too much, his relationship, but
What, are you in the fucking
Yeah,
room with
well,
him, bro?
when the USSR was falling, he was in East Germany. He was behind back work as a KGB agent. He was pretty much getting information from back from the States and Russia, USSR. But no one was really following any orders by the time the fall of the Berlin Wall was happening. Actually, where he was working, all the mobs from East Germany went into the building, tried to figure out who was KGB or not.
Okay.
And he managed to escape. He managed to get some guards, and he went back to Russia, where he worked his way up to becoming president of Russia.
Okay. And from your reading and knowledge, how do you think things are going to turn out?
I'm hoping maybe he does the right decision and calls for a ceasefire, and that he apologizes to the Ukrainian government and offers them assistance in rebuilding the country.
Awkward.
It's probably his best option.
Okay. From what you read about him, what do you think the likelihood is he'll take that option?
I think he'll figure something out.
Okay.
That's just me, my personal opinion. He might cause for a ceasefire.
Okay.
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping, maybe within a year or so. I don't think he's going to capture it by the end of the week. Ukraine? No, I don't think he is. Yep, figured out a way how to steal.
Okay.
I don't want to steal too much because I don't want to get arrested or go on a blacklist.
Okay.
So usually what I stole was candy, food,
Okay.
magazines, movies, video games, video game controllers.
Okay. Did you ever take any of those things before you were age 15?
I try to.
Okay. Tell me anything you took before or stole, shoplifted before 15.
Movies.
What kind of movies would you steal?
Anything on the market. Anything I found interesting.
Cruz is able to absorb and retain information quickly and seems to fixate on certain subjects. His
Not chemistry.
history of stealing unnecessary items could be another one of his bids for attention, or it could be another symptom of mental illness, where the person engages in risky behaviors.
Oh, God. Patreon. Very cool. Thought we somehow were at the end already. I was like, that didn't seem like it was that long.
Interesting, like Predator.
Would that be
Versus
like, was that in the old days when they had like DVDs and stuff? They don't even have, I don't know if they have that so much anymore.
Not anymore. Now you can just go on the internet.
But you would steal some DVDs? Like,
Yeah.
what age did you start doing that?
12, 13.
Okay. And
I stole, what was it, box of donuts once.
how old were you then?
15.
Okay. Have you ever broken
The fact
into
that he has it all
anybody's home or-
memorized, too.
What's that?
Zach did.
Yeah, how about you?
Uh,
Or a car even?
yeah, I broke into cars. Steal change, junk change, find if it had any weapons or anything there.
Okay. And were you less than 15 when you broke into the cars?
A little bit older, 16.
Okay.
Shoot stuff in the backyard, in the front yard.
That's what you did. Was that related to,
Yeah.
how so?
For
I don't know why the camera keeps changing, but maybe it's like a different camera
But
or some shit. I
help me
don't know.
understand that this is,
It's against the law. And that was the thrill of knowing that was against the law.
What was the thrill of doing it? No.
Just shooting a gun in the backyard is against the law.
What is it?
Yeah.
And what was thrilling about that?
No one would know. No one could know.
Okay.
I think the illegal part, bud.
You were describing to me yesterday that at some point you decided, did you leave the gun there?
No, I went out. I think I tossed the gun on the ground.
On the third floor or something?
Yeah, I think I stopped on it first and then I kicked it and went to the side.
And tell me again, how come you stopped at that moment?
I couldn't find anyone to kill.
How come? I didn't know if kids were in the classroom or not, or...
I didn't know. I
Okay.
just I didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't think anyone else was in the building.
Okay. Yesterday you were
Yeah, I told you I had to like trap and everything. The window
And
that I
it's
was shooting at.
scribbling.
I was going to ask about the window. Could you see? I think you told me.
Yeah, I could see I could see the football field, and then I could see off to the side a little bit.
Could you see any kids at all or not?
Yeah, there was like 300 to 400 yards, or 800 yards.
Okay.
I can't remember the yardage.
And did the window ever crack at all?
Yeah, there was like bullet holes in it.
Okay.
Wonder
And
how
I
those
don't know
got
how
there.
big an AR-15 is, what a tip is.
It really is the bullet beside it, not so much the barrel. The barrel doesn't have anything to do with it. It's the bullet. So however big the bullet is, that hole is going to be the same
Okay.
size.
And did you ever try to fire through the bullet hole, or what happened there?
I tried. It didn't work. I tried smashing my gun into the window, tried to break it, didn't work.
And why were you trying to smash the gun in the window?
To try to shoot at the crowd.
Okay. And it didn't work?
No.
Okay.
On the other side, and I was walking, and then I saw the two girls. I shot them.
Weak bitch.
Three. I shot three. No, three. Okay, and then I shot. Was it Peter Wing and that girl by the stairwell?
Okay.
Yeah. I think his name was Peter Wong or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think
I only recently found out what his name.
yeah. And so, the first person you shot, remind me what that was like and how you were able to, how you did that.
Scary. Oh, shit. I thought they would scream.
Uh-huh.
It's more like they passed out.
Okay.
Passed out and blood just came out, pouring out of their head.
Okay.
It was really nasty and sad to see.
And
What?
Again, I think I asked you this yesterday, but
Those
I
are
think I showed
literally
mercy to the three girls.
antonyms.
I was gonna walk away, but they started to show nasty faces, and then I
okay.
went back or something.
Explain to me how you showed them mercy.
I was like thinking about shooting them, but I didn't want to do it. So I was gonna walk down the hallway.
And did you end up shooting them?
Yeah, because they gave me a nasty look and they were about to run,
Okay. What do you mean they gave you a nasty look?
like
Okay.
something like that.
And so you were going to give
I
them
thought they were
mercy.
gonna attack me or something.
Okay. You were going to give them mercy, but then they gave you the nasty look.
Look, and they were gonna run away.
Okay.
Two of them were gonna run away. One nasty
And-
look. And then they just and when I pulled up my gun, they just went back and they put it into a ball.
like they pulled into a ball. Okay. And then what happened?
I didn't even aim or anything. I just shot.
Okay. How did the bullets get in them if you didn't aim?
I aimed downward.
Okay.
Like I had like on a waist, and I had,
And then, do you remember who the last person you shot was?
Peter Wing.
Okay. And describe to me what happened.
His head blew up like a water balloon.
And then there was a girl you mentioned
Jesus
yesterday that was.
Christ, man.
Yeah, she was on the stairwell.
She was on the
Yeah,
stairwell.
I shot her. She was crawling. I shot her in the back.
Okay. And how come?
I told you I wanted to kill as many people as I could and
Okay.
take my life.
Okay.
So that was the goal. So I shot her
Okay.
in the back. I think I shot her twice.
Okay.
She was injured in the leg, I think, when I was shooting down the hallway or something.
Okay.
And I think security guard in the hallway that I told you about, I think he gave me a nasty look, so I shot him in the head. Peter Wing also gave me a nasty look.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember now.
What kind of look did he give you? Do you remember?
Look of anger.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I told him to run.
And did he? Okay.
There is very little emotion in Cruz's voice when he describes how he killed his victims. Several times, he mentions some of them giving him nasty looks. In reality, those were probably expressions of terror. Cruz may have the inability to read the emotions of others, or it might be another symptom of mental illness, paranoia. Cruz may also be trying to justify his actions to himself by choosing to believe a scenario in which they deserved it.
True.
Nikolas Cruz was charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder
Yep.
and 17 counts of attempted murder. On October 20th, 2021. Cruz pleaded guilty to all charges and
Shocker.
apologized for his crimes. The trial was delayed several times in part due to COVID restrictions. On October 13, 2022, a jury unanimously agreed that Cruz was eligible for the death penalty, but deadlocked on whether it should be imposed, resulting in a recommendation to sentence him to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. 9 jurors were in favor of the death penalty, but Florida law requires that it be a unanimous decision. In accordance with the recommendation, Nikolas Cruz was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. If you enjoyed this video and want to support me further, there's a Patreon link in the description where you can do just that. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.
Jeez. Did I see any footage of the actual trial? Not a ton. I saw like stuff of some of the parents like speaking during the trial and stuff. I didn't keep up a ton of it or with it. Death penalty in the US varies state to state. Yes, very true. Also, some states just fully aren't for it because it's not that hot of a take, but it's pretty inhumane. Also, from studies, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it gives a family like a fleeting justice. I mean, obviously, it's not like I don't have a personal experience in that, but like it's more expensive to get that done. It's more judicial work to get that figured out. It's more cost heavy to get that figured out. It's definitely been racially biased. It's a great point. There's 100% like been cases where people have been put on death row like being innocent. So it's not even like a good system that's accurate all the time. It gives people like immediate justice, but then that person is just gone and we don't know what the fuck happens after we're gone. So we don't even have like a direct way of knowing that they're fucking rotting wherever they end up. So like it's just it's too costly and like it doesn't end up doing much. In terms of death penalty stuff, the states that do allow it, it has to be a unanimous decision. So the jury can like agree to vote on it, or the head juror can like basically motion to open it up for discussion. But if the entire jury is not unanimous, it doesn't happen. A lot of serial killers don't want the death penalty because a lot of serial killers value being alive because that means they're able to kill. A lot of serial killers have a preservation for life. In terms of somebody like Nikolas, probably not. Spree killers tend to like to go out by shooting. So you'll see a lot of people like Columbine and Texas shooter and stuff like that. You'll see them where like they will purposely get into a shootout with the police whenever they're done or whenever the police try to intervene because they want to get taken down by the police. But yeah, someone like a serial killer is a little different. Serial killers kind of have a different, Uvalde. A lot of serial killers have a different kind of attitude in that sense. They kind of like to be alive because it gives them the chance to do more. And usually they have some sense of life preservation because of the way they behave in terms of killing people and stuff like that, because of the way that they like blend into the environments and have cooldowns between kills and stuff like that. So they're a bit different.